Okay. Well, hello, everybody. As promised, I am back with Touching Eternity, the podcast. This is just a pre show to tomorrow night, the Wednesday night weekly show. Again, this week we will be we've been talking a lot about tarot. We started that last night because we had a really good conversation last night about the tarot and about the different types of courses that I teach. I teach three different types. So the three classes that I do teach for tarot for people, my favorite one is intuitive tarot because that is your expression. Intuitive tarot is where you really don't learn the meanings of the cards, but you use your interpretation. You use your intuition and you allow that to flow through. You just kind of learn some basic things about the cards and you allow your energetic self guide you through the reading. And that's actually my favorite class. Then I do teach another class that's called Tarot with Sid, and it's called The Whole Story. And it comes with this wonderful, we get you to download this wonderful book called Tarot with Sid, The Whole Story. I do always recommend the Rider Waite deck, and that's what the Rider Waite looks like. This is a good teaching deck because it is the original, I call it the original tarot. It's really designed after the original tarot used. And if you open this up, it really does cover all the different decks. It covers the astrology, it covers the numerology, it covers the symbology. It covers a lot of stuff that we cover in this class. And there's a PowerPoint that goes with it that I probably will be using some of tomorrow night. But this is part of the class. It's the whole, this is a, I used to teach this over like almost a week because even though this book looks small, it covers a lot of material. The symbolism alone, it covers the symbolism in almost every card, like what every picture in every card is. So it's a lot. And then it covers the astrology, the numerology, as well as all the symbolism and colors in the card. So we talk a lot about color therapy. We talk a lot about numerology in the cards. We talk a lot about the astrology in the cards. We talk a lot about the symbology and symbolism in the cards. And it's just, hey, Gina, and hey, Penny, hey, Denise. So what it does, what this class does, it just kind of helps you build a relationship with your cards so that when you look at them, you kind of can get a feel about what they mean. I like to use, I have a little box I keep mine in now, a little box that I got from Honduras. I like to use the Rider Waite deck, which was on the front cover, which this is. Oh, let me turn it this way. This is the Rider Waite deck. It's very colorful, very plain, easy to see pictures. There are a lot of decks. Hi, Mary. There are a lot of tarot decks that are very. Hi, Daphne, you made it. There are a lot of tarot decks that are very pastel. They have different themes. There's the theme of tarot for everything. They got New Orleans tarot. They got mystic tarot. They got crystal tarot. They got herbal tarots. They got fairy tarots, cat tarots, owl tarots. You name it, they've made a tarot deck with it. Everybody wants, hey Gwen, baby, they want their tarot decks to get famous. You know, I stick with the original Rider Waite, at least to learn. Once you've learned, then you can, if you see another deck you want to try and play with and get to know, then I say maybe advance to another deck. But I always like to learn with Rider Waite because this is the original old school tarot deck. Okay. You could also learn with playing cards because in the tarot deck is the playing cards. So, like, this is the Knight of Cups. In the Knight of Cups, this is the Jack of Hearts in a playing deck of cards. He's the Jack of Hearts. He is the communicator, in the playing deck of cards. The King of Cups, which we will talk about tomorrow night. The King of Cups, because we're going to go over, no, we won't, this will be the next week. We're going to go over the major deck tomorrow. The King of Cups would be the King of Hearts. And right next to the King is the King of Wands, which is the King of Clubs in a regular playing deck of cards. So remember that the tarot deck consists of 56 cards that are the minor deck, which is the 52 cards that are in the regular playing cards, plus 4 jokers, one for each suit, which represents the children. And I'm going to show you that. Here's the joker or the page of cups. So this is the page of hearts, or the joker of hearts. So this would be this would be an extra to the 52. So there's 4 of these because there's 4 suits. So 56 cards for the minor deck. And then there is, hey Chris, and then there is 22 of the major deck. And the major deck consists of cards like the Star, the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, and it's basically what it is the Fool's journey through life. And it starts out with the Fool being 0, and then it goes into their journey in life. And in the Death card, of course, is in there, which is transition and change, because there is no such thing as death. But what you need to know is that it's all about life. That tarot is all about life. And there really is, and people say like, oh, there's all this negative. Like, here's a negative card, supposedly. This is the 3 of Swords. And basically what it means, it's family heartache or family sorrow or some kind of family pain or a family issue. And, but what I tell people is knowing about it helps you resolve. Hey, Kim, helps you resolve that problem. Here's another one that looks kind of bad. And it has several meanings. So this is the 10 of Swords. For me, it has several meanings. Depending on the cards around it, it could mean someone stabbing you in the back. It could also mean a surgery of some kind or a procedure, depending if there's health cards near it or a person card near it or a person and then something else. It has several meanings to me depending upon what's around it. Okay? So understand that, cards don't have just one meaning. A lot of it depends on what's around it. What is the story that's being told? And that's why I tell people, get in the habit of telling a story. That's very, very important when you're learning to read tarot. Because, and again, you're not making the story up. People say, well, then it's just me making it up. No, you're not. Everything is not black and white. You're not sitting here reading it from a book. You're taking the energy or the frequency. I don't want to say energy because you're taking the frequency of your sitter, blending it with your frequency and what you're getting from the cards, and you're allowing those frequencies to blend and talk to you. And you're speaking the story of the frequencies that you're receiving, is a good way to put it. And that's how tarot storytelling works. That's how you start predicting predicting the future or predicting the situations about what's going on in someone's life, is that you're allowing the frequencies to blend within you and you're allowing it to flow. Okay. And again, what I always tell people is always like, well, I don't think that's going to happen, or I don't understand that. Well, why are you coming to me? You're not supposed to. If you knew it, you wouldn't need me. Right? You're coming because you want to know what's going to happen. Well, if you knew, what the heck you coming to me for? Right? You're not supposed to. If you knew, then what you coming here for? No, I'm helping you see what I see so that you can, if it's something negative, we can work at making it positive or avoid it. Or if it's something positive, we can make it better. That's why you go see an intuitive. That is why you want to see what we need to do to make a situation better. That is why you see an intuitive. Okay? That is why you should be seeking an intuitive, to make the best version of yourself, to make sure you have better outcomes. That is the whole purpose of going to see an intuitive. And most people don't get that. They just want to know if their boyfriend's cheating, if their girlfriend's cheating. They want to know if they really love them. All their insecurities pour out. But what it's really about is learning that they need to love themselves, and they need to build upon that love, which is important, because then nothing else matters. And so understanding that and then helping incorporate that by helping someone see that within themselves and helping them grow is what your job is as an intuitive, is seeing what's coming up, the opportunities they have that they can use to help them see that about themselves. And so that's where all this comes in. And I can tell you now, when I see somebody in somebody's future, they love to tell me, well, I don't know that person. Well, of course you don't. If you did, you'd already be with them. Sure, it's not somebody I know already. Well, why would you want it to be? You obviously didn't care for them that much. You'd be with them already, right? Why does it have to be somebody you already know? I get that a lot. I really do. I never forget. I was reading a woman that I worked with, and she was in love with somebody else that we worked with. You know how that goes. And this guy did not like her at all. And she was so heartbroken by it. And this guy was such a narcissistic ass. And I was like, I just don't get what she sees in him. But she really, really liked him. I mean, he was good looking, but he was just not the nicest person to other people, especially to her. And I was like, I just don't know what she sees in him, but she really wanted to be with him. And she come to me for a reading, and she kept saying, you don't see me with him? I'm like, no. I said, actually, I see you with somebody else. She's like, who you see me with? I said, I see you with a preacher with 2 kids about a year from now. And she laughed at me. And I said, I actually see you marrying this guy who's of the cloth, and he's got 2 kids. And she laughed at me, and sure enough, she caught me a year later. She married somebody of the cloth who had 2 children, and they lived happily ever after. No, that guy is far from being a preacher, Alicia. But anyway, so that was a true story, So, you really, quit. What I've learned in life, and that's one reason why I teach energetics. And here I go again with the energetics. Y'all got to shoot me whenever we talk about energetics so much. But that's the one reason I teach energetics, is because we can't see past the front of our noses. And so we seem to get stuck in that realm right here. And we never see the whole world right in front of us. And when we try to see our life, we never get past here. And if we learn to shine and we learn energetics, it opens the whole world to us beyond what we can see. And it attracts those energies past out the front of our noses, and it opens doors. And that's where I try to get my people to become the best version of not. Why do you want to date somebody you've known all your life? Do I know this person? No, hopefully not. Because obviously it wasn't that good, or you'd have been with them already. I get that a lot from ladies. Well, do I know them already? Hopefully not. I hope this is somebody new, because if it was somebody you knew, you should have been going after them already. Have you been looking? Well, no. I said, well, then why would you want to be with somebody you already know? Obviously, you've not been that interested, or you would have made an attempt. I laugh at someone. I'm like, no. Hopefully, this looks like somebody different. Welcome that. Some of us are afraid of anything that's beyond the front of our noses. Stop that. Stop having fear. Learn to let go of the fear. Anyway, so let's get back into the cards again. So there are 4 suits, and I'm gonna show them to you. Let's see. Let me find all 4 suits here. While I'm doing, I'll break up the others. Oh God, I'm getting a lot of the major deck here. Okay, so there's 4 suits. There is coins, which this is the 4 of coins. Pentacles, as it said in some, it's the 4 of pentacles. And this is diamonds. So this is the 4 of diamonds. If I was looking at a regular deck of cards. So what I want to tell you about pentacles is usually somebody that has, if it's a person, they usually, not always, usually it could be a hair color. It would be a dark hair color, like a dark brown or black hair color. Pentacles also mean value. These pentacles all talk about things of value, not always money, but things of value, things that bring value or take away value, or in this case, guard value. Okay, so Pentacles are all about value. So remember that. Not always money, but value. Sometimes it's personal value. So Pentacles are always about value. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Just depends. Okay? Pictures tell you a lot. Okay? The next one is Swords. The next one, this is the Ten of Swords. And I told you a little bit about this one earlier, but this is the Ten of Swords. Swords are the spades. And this is usually people with light brown hair or medium to light brown hair if you're reading a person. Swords are usually, if I'm looking at a sword career, these are your lawyers, these are professors, these are administrative people, like maybe even a nurse or a doctor or healthcare. This also could be people who deal with contracts, military, police. These are sword careers as well. These are cups, and this is the Eight of Cups, and this is the hearts of the tarot. And hearts are usually blonde-haired people. These are things that bring about romance, love, or personal feelings. They bring about feelings or emotions. Emotions, not always of love, but of emotions of, they create emotions of some kind. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. But that's what cups are normally about. And then there are wands, or I call them wands. People call them something, but I call them wands. But these are the clubs of the tarot. And this is the Three of Clubs. And the clubs are redhead people, or people with auburn hair, or strawberry red, that kind of blondish red hair. This also is the career cards, or things that look at futuristic, or their purpose cards. You know, like, what is my purpose? What is my career? What is my job? What is our duties as well? So that's what the clubs are about. Okay, so that's the four suits, and that's what they represent. Okay, hey, Elizabeth. So when you're reading, if you just keep that in your head and you start looking at the pictures, you could do a reading, because you can look at the pictures, and if you remember those key words, you're going to already know where you're going with everything, because they're going to start blending with stuff. Okay? So that's really, really important to remember. Okay, so just remember that. And like I said, I'm just prepping this. I will be teaching an intuitive class, and then I'll be teaching the whole story class. I'll show the book again. So intuitive is just me teaching you how to intuitively decode, but then I do a whole series with Tarot with Sid, the whole story, which comes with this book that covers all the symbology, everything, covers the astrology, the symbolism, all that wonderful stuff. And you actually get you get all the pages that are in there. I don't put the book together. You got to put your own book together, because it's a lot. You gotta, I send you the download for all the pages that are in there, so that you can learn, have that as well. My friend Daphne, who's watching, actually, I loaned her one of those books, because she's learning tarot currently. That's why I have her on here, so she can follow along a little bit and understand those. So also know, so I gave you hair color. I gave you the suit that they represent, and I gave you basically kind of what the basic meaning of each category are. So can you look at the pictures? If I was teaching you intuitive tarot, if I was teaching you intuitive tarot, you would look at I'd have those written on a board, and you would look at the board and be able to look at the pictures and say, hey, okay, so this means something about this. And then, of course, then you would blend that with what you have. And you would go on to read more and more. Now, let's talk about numerology a little bit. So let me go through here. And I'm not gonna pull up each suit. I'm just gonna pull out one of each number. So there's a 2. So I'll use that one, because that'll be the second one. So aces are 1s. and this is the Ace of Cups. And look, it looks just like a like a wedding picture to me, with the dove and the hand of God coming out of the clouds. And so basically, ones are about new beginnings. So whenever I see this card, this usually, when it's straight up or if it's in a positive field to me, this is usually about something about a new relationship. Doesn't always necessarily mean with a person. Because I got to be realistic when I'm reading. If this is 90-year-old grandma, and I know she ain't going dating anybody, and I get this card, I know this is about another type of new relationship with her. It could be a new business relationship. It could be a new grandchild coming in. It could be, but it's a new kind of bonding relationship with her, a newfound love. It's all about a new thing that comes close to her heart because it's an ace, but it's a gift from God. If it's a negative, sometimes those come upside down, sometimes they don't. It could be something around it makes it negative, or a feel that I get. Negative, it could mean divorce. It could mean a separation of something new. It could be the loss of something near to her, or somebody moving away, or something happening. And it's unexpected. But ones are about new beginnings or new changes or new things because it's a one. Ones are always something new or a gift from God or something that is supposed to happen, or could be a karmatic thing if it's a negative. Okay? Twos. Twos are about relationships, not always personal with people. Business, monetary, work, personal. Twos are about coupling. Twos are also about rhythm and timing. So when I'm working with a two, and in this case it is about a relationship because it is the Two of Cups, which is two of love. Hey Susan, that is two of love, but it depends with me. Since I read more than one card, it would depend on what's next to it. Because it could be the love of animals, it could be the love of career, it could be the love of family, it could be the love of something else, or something that's coming together. And so that's what I would have to look at, the other cards around it. But that's what twos are about. Threes are about collaboration. Threes are about moving forward. Threes are about creativity. And so in all of the cards, there's going to be something about that. But you look at the picture. For me, with this card, this is about career. So this is about putting your back. Like if I was going to get this card by itself, I would probably tell somebody, because Swans, remember, about business or career. And look at the guy. He's putting his back to something and he's looking into the future. So I would say you just put out, you're looking at another job, or you're looking to see where you can take your career. That's just by looking at this one card. I had nothing else to go by. That's probably what I would say about that card. Because threes are about creating. You're trying to create new experiences for yourself, or a new career for yourself. You're looking at what more can I do. Okay. I also have some cards that I read different than anything else, just because I have I need a time card, so I picked a card to be a time card, and I needed a card to show move, like a physical move, like of a house or an apartment or a career, and I have a card that I picked for that. So I do have some cards that are personal just for me. So fours, and I think I showed you this one earlier. Fours are about stability. Fours are usually about stability. Fours are about fact. Fours are about working hard. And this guy's holding on to his money, so he's working hard. So fours are about hard work, hard labor, working hard, doing those things in numerology. So a lot of times you see a four, that's what you're thinking about when you see that and you start looking at the picture. So that's fours. Fives are all about movement and change and movement and change. And in this one is the Five of Swords, and this was about defeat and about battle. And you been keep seeing your force lately, Whitney. This is about movement and change and defeat, and after you conquer something, being able to move with it. So this is why this is a five, and this is about being able to solve issues, defeat them, and move on. That's what that number's about. And then sixes are all usually about family, usually about family or something to do with your family. And this is definitely about family. This is about coming together, committing to family, maybe buying a house or having family move in, depending upon what's around it. Has a few meanings depending upon what's around it, but it's all about family and coming together and creating good relationships. Okay. Seven, sevens are very spiritual, and this is about holding your ground spiritually and believing in yourself and holding back the enemy at work, because it is a career card, or just in your endeavors, holding things back. Seven is also the spiritual number. It's also about doing things on your own, and sometimes feeling alone, but being able to conquer things on your own. So that's sevens. This is the numerology pieces, folks. Eight is all about power and money, and in this case, in the eight of cups, it's all about this guy saying, "I've done all I can do here. Now it's time for me to move on to new horizons. I have conquered. I have done what I needed to do. I need to take my energy and move it on to something else, which is over those rocks, and look for a better challenge." Nine is always about endings, and in this case, it's the Nine of Swords. It's all about, in this case, in this particular card, it's all about realizing that you need to change things. You can't sleep. You got to do some change in your life. You need something to happen. You can't sleep at night. You're worrying about stuff. You need to make some changes. You got to get rid of stuff that's not working. You got to end some things, make new things come and happen. And 10, which is, well, 9 is numerology. So 10 goes back to 1. And so this is like the end of stuff, and you need to start all over. In this case, this is someone stabbed you in the back. You need to move on. 10s are all about new beginnings. You need to fix something so you can create and start something new. And then you go into the court cards, which is, I will show you some court cards. There he is. I'm gonna show you all one suit. So then you have the page, which is the jokers. And like I'm going to show you also, the page is all about new beginnings and new things developing. And this is the page of wands. And so for him, this would be like a new job or a new opportunity or a new business or a new invention or something, new project that you want to get involved in. And depending on what's around it, tells you whether you're going to, how you're going to do with it. And then the Knight of Wands is the ambition or the energy you put into a project or your career, trying to get it moving, trying to get it going, or if it's upside down, that you're just not doing what you're supposed to do. And then there's my least favorite card, is this one, the Queen of Wands, because when she's straight up, she's a powerful woman who is very strong and very intelligent. Boy, when she's upside down, she is the most frightening card in the deck. This is the B word or the C word when she's upside down and she's negative at you. This is the one that if you're a model and she's nearby, she'll throw the marbles on the floor to see you fail. She is the social climber, the ladder climber when she's in her negative phase. She is the most evil card in the deck. Right there. That's her when she's upside down. And then there's the King, who he's not as evil as she is, but he is, like, when he's straight up, he is the good businessman. He is up. When he's upside down, he's a failure. He's where as much as she is evil, he's a failure. Anything he touches just doesn't work. It just doesn't happen when he's in his negative phase. So she's just evil when she's upset, but he is just, as much as she is evil, he's a failure. The evil guy is not the King of Wands. The evil guy is actually, the most evil guy in the deck is the Knight of Swords upside down. He is that narcissist that will slice your throat when you least expect it. He's probably the most evil guy. So the most evil woman in the deck is the Queen of Wands upside down, and the most evil guy is probably the Knight of Swords upside down. To me, that's who I read as the two most evil people in the deck. If they come up, like, those are ones I tell you, watch out. If they're around you, be careful. Look at that person, know who they are, get them out of your life. So that is just basically the numerology and a little bit about the cards, and and a little bit about what some of the basic numerology meanings are. And then there's symbols in them. So, and the symbols get really deep. So I'm not gonna get in. I have, like I said, if you ever come with me and take this class, Tarot with Sid, we literally go over. I'll read some of the symbols to you. Anyway, so astrological wise, wands represent fire, pentacles represent earth, cups represent water, and the swords represent air. And actually, that was the only typos, because the where I pulled the information, they had it wrong on the website. I had to go back and change it because they had it wrong. And I put in a document where I got all this from. It's in here, but they actually had that wrong on the astrology part. I came from there was a website called tarotcardmeanings.net, which I think has been taken down now. Y'all can go look at it. That's where I pulled most of this information from, and it taught you everything. And people were asking me last night about how many different types of layouts they have. I'm gonna show them to you. I'm gonna see if I can show them to you here online. When we get to the PowerPoint tomorrow night, I think I might have some there, but I'll show you. Here's one page of them. These are some of the spreads. I don't know if you can see those, but each one of those blue names is a spread. And then there's a bunch more on another page. And each spread, there's more. I'm sorry, there's more than that. There's one page, then there's another page, and then there is another page. And each page has a different category of spread. So, like, there's a spread if you're looking for a certain job, or you're looking for a certain love, if you're looking for a missing pet, if you're looking for money, new relationships, past life spreads. Heartache spreads. I always do the Celtic cross. Which is a little cross in the middle, two cards, 1, 2, and then I lay one card to the east, north, west, south, then one in the bottom, then go 3 more on top that way. So it's a cross, and then four piles up on the side, and then I do that. I lay around the center pile and up the side. I'll make it 3 cards deep, so that it tells a story, and then I read it certain ways. And I will show you some of that tomorrow. When Magni's here tomorrow, he'll be able to probably fix a camera. I'm gonna say if he'll have time to fix a camera, I can show you my desk, and I can actually show you me and the desk at the same time, so I can actually do some layouts for you. We do that for the numerology class when I teach numerology, so we can work on charts together, numerology charts together when we do the numerology class. The major deck, which I'm trying to, let me see if I can pull the rest of the major deck out of here for you guys. And I'll just show you this now, because tomorrow night we're all going to go over the entire major deck together. That is going to be tomorrow's focus. It is going to be the entire major deck. I will do that tomorrow night. Here, our friend, I like him. I'm going to try to it's Justice, the Lovers, the Empress, the High Priestess, my favorite, the Tower, the Hermit. A lot of people don't like the Tower. I love the Tower. Tower of Destruction. I think it's cool. A lot of people don't like because it's a scary card, but actually a lot of people don't, I'm going to show it to you. A lot of people don't like this card because it's so scary and looking and evil looking, but yes, it is, Chris, to practice upside. I'm not going to say have different meaning, correct? Yeah, they can, Kim. They're supposed to have the opposite meaning, but for me, it really depends on what I'm feeling from the person I'm sitting with. If I feel something negative, then I say negative, even if it's straight up. I use the vibration more than I do where the card goes. One quick question. How do you differentiate a new start from a necessary ending? So basically in numerology, so how do you differentiate a new start from a necessary ending? 1 versus 10. So in numerology, 10 is 1. Pretty much. And then you get into the court cards after that. So they have their own meanings, the court cards. But basically in numerology, 10 is 1. When you do numerology, so it's like a different beginning, is what I would say. And it just depends. I mean, in numerology, 10 is 1. And so 10 is 10. And 1 through 9, it has its own meanings. So the major deck, which is 22 cards, and that's what I was trying to pull out. And they get kind of mixed when you start shuffling a lot. They get kind of mixed in because they have pictures, and all the others have pictures too. But it's the Fool's Journey Through Life, and I'm going to kind of show you why they say that. So your first card is the Fool, and if you look at him, I'm going to kind of just show you a little bit. When you look at the Fool, if you notice, and you're going to hear this probably a little bit tomorrow night because I'm going to go over these again tomorrow night. If you look at this, he's standing there about to walk off a cliff, so you think that's kind of stupid of him, but he's really very smart when he's straight up because he's got this dog over here that is barking, and so the dog is there telling him he's about to walk off a cliff. So he's really very smart. He's very intelligent when he's straight up. When he's upside down, he's the total opposite. And then the Magician, who starts him off on his journey. And if you notice in the Magician card, he has all 4 elements. He has the coins, the cups. He has the wand and the sword on the table. So he has all 4 suits are located here. And this is him getting ready to challenge life with all the elements. He's getting ready to challenge life and start his journey of infinity. This is having all the tools he needs to move forward. And what is the first thing we need in life once we get our tools? Is an education. And that's who the High Priestess is. She is all about education. Once we get our knowledge, we always have our mom. She's the mother of the cards, the father of the cards. And then we have the preacher of the cards. He's the Pope. And then we fall in love and get married. And then we journey off on our honeymoon and we find strength and love. And then we find about our journey, our spiritual side, our journey in life. And then we work on our fortune and developing who we are, the Wheel of Fortune. And then we find out the hard truths of life. We go to work. We find out the hard truths, justice. It's the Fool's Journey. And then more spirituality and consciousness comes into play. And then we deal with change, death, change. And death is not death. Death is severe change. We understand we have changes we have to make. We have to go back and readjust through the lessons that we've learned in this life. And so we make those adjustments because of all those pressures, we have the chance, we have a possibility of gaining addictions because the devil is all about addictions. Notice that the people in the photo here are chained to what appears to be the devil, but it's not. It's really Pan. It's all fake. Okay? And they're not really chained. They're loosely, the things around their neck are very loose. They could leave at any time. That's why this is about addiction, because they choose to be there. And then there's the Tower saying we have a choice here. And that's why I love the Tower card so much. The Tower is all about, it's time to burn the dead grass so new grass can grow. Let's get rid of the crap that's not working in our life so we can let new grass grow, so we can make the changes we need to make so that we can have success again and things can flow right. That's the Star. However, if we don't do that, there will be things that we will hide, things that we will covet. But if we don't do that, we can bring sunlight and friendships closer to us. And that's when we will have to face our judgment day and become the best versions of ourselves, which is the world with all that. And that's the Fool's Journey in life. And that is the 22 cards that signify the journey of the Fool through life. But notice there are choices in all of those. For the Fool to go either way. He has choices to make on his journey. And those 22 and these 56 all talk about every facet of life. I can tell you anything that can happen to somebody in life, and you're going to find them in these cards somewhere. And that's how the tarot works. That is how tarot cards work. And so I lay the cards out to tell me the story of what is going on. So anyway, folks, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. Tomorrow night, I am going to have the PowerPoint for the tarot up, and we're going to talk about tarot. And I am going to do a tarot class pretty soon. I do have a lot of people interested in that. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So please join in and let's have some fun. All right. I'll talk to you then. Thank you for joining me. Bye.